Hello my friends, welcome to the Knife Lab. We're doing it outside today. Sometimes it's just more fun being out in the open air. Perhaps the possibility of someone pulling up for an errand or to do some pre-arranged work on the house, and oh no, they've accidentally caught me doing it. Makes it just a little bit more exciting when you've been doing the same thing over and over again for years. You just need to spice it up sometimes. Anyway, we are looking today at two knives at the moment with a unique way of being sharpened. So we've got a viewer, Gabe, contacted me, and he has a sharpening methodology that he feels is truly versatile and form-fitting for most purposes. So I'd never thought of doing this, but what we have done is sharpened on one side a much higher grit, going sort of, so if you're holding the edge up like this, so that way through, you know, if you work on a stone, 250, you know, 250 grit, coarser edge, and then finish with a stropping compound just for deburring, whatnot. And then the other way, much finer grit, 6,000, and then finish with a strop compound. So you've effectively got a coarse and a smooth edge combined on one blade. He says it gets some great results. So the steels we're looking at today are M390 by Benchmade, and then M4 by Spyderco, done with this same method. I'm not sure what the edge angles are. Didn't specify, but we're sort of testing this methodology. And I guess to illustrate that these knives are very sharp, they definitely do slide through paper very, very well. So very, very sharp knives. They do already sound a little bit different on the slice, which is interesting. So whether this translates into rope cutting edge retention, well, that's what we're here to find out. So I'm going to test the M390 on the Benchmade first. We're going to cut twisted sisal rope until it no longer slices that held sheet of paper, just using that front portion of the blade. What would be normal for this? For a production M390 knife with a really nice edge on it, you're looking between like 500 and 650 cuts in one of my edge tests. Is generally about the ballpark of what M390 can get. You can make it crazier and it'll cut longer but be more fragile. You can make it broader, it'll cut quicker and not be as fragile and have a working edge for a lot longer. But generally speaking, yeah, I'd be thinking normal ballpark for a high-end, you know, thin edge on, if one of my edges, you know, to 17 degrees per side, assuming the steel is going to be at 61 or so Rockwell hardness or 60 or something like that, you're looking at 500 to 650, you know, to be ballpark. M4, you're probably looking at about 600 to 750 ballpark, you know, on bulk branded M4. So let's see how Gabe's edges stack up to those very rough assumptions. Let's get into it. I can't resharpen them. Quite nerve-wracking testing someone else's edge, because the thing is, sometimes I do an edge test and I like ding the blade or something before I even start, you know, like, or I'll accidentally put it down the wrong way and then it's, oh, it's fine, I can just resharpen it. But because this is not my sharpening, I would have to send it back to New Zealand, which is where Gabe's from. So let's do this. It's been using from about where my finger is forwards. Go. Not even phased at 100. Like the sorest part of my hands is the one holding the rope. It's weird. Anyway, 200. Not even troubled slightly yet. 200 cuts. It's my feeding hand that hurts. Ow. All right, 300. not even phased. Not even, wouldn't even say there's a noticeable loss just yet. Not even phased at 400. $500, not even phased. Could you just not hand? It's like it's done nothing still. There is no even slight drag, so I don't know how long this is going to go on for. My hand is hoping one more slice, but my brain is hoping for some kind of crazy record, so we will see. Definitely a good edge. Let's see if it's a great one. $700. 700. Well, maybe it's first slight bit of slowdown, maybe. God, not really though. Yikes. My hand is dreading this continuing. But 700, still going. It's a good edge. Let's check in at 750, see how it's looking. Okay, it actually feels better again. Right. We may have invented the first self-sharpening edge somehow. Black magic on that apex. Still going. It's maybe a slight slow down spot in the middle, but then it just glides straight through when I double check it, so. 800, right? Yikes. Right. $850, and we've almost cut a full hank of rope. Okay. Right, there's one spot. No, there's not. What? It's like a highly, I'm gonna do 50 more to 900 and see what it's doing. Because there's obviously a spot, but it's only under certain conditions does it even slow the cut down. PM2 is gonna be tomorrow. This is fucked. This is 900. Okay, puts it that way. Cool, so it zags off now, so it's made a dull enough spot to divert my nice smooth cut at 900. So yes, there is something to this. I would suggest that the mix of the teeth and the smooth are making for like an edge that kind of continues to have some kind of life in it. Once the teeth are gone, maybe the smooth takes on, where maybe once the smooth is gone, whichever one's the kind of primary seems to be supported by the secondary once the primary is gone. This is just shooting from the hip, but it's certainly how it feels. At the start of the cuts as well, it felt like it almost wanted to be push cut through. I always try and do the same kind of cut, but oh, that hurts. Oh, my finger hurts. It's this finger too. It's like my finger I push my rope with. Anyway, so as that feels like a different kind of edge entirely. You can actually feel it. Even paper slice felt different at the start. The rope almost felt, it felt very bitey at the beginning, and then it sort of turned into more of a smoother edge. Hard to describe, but yes, there is definitely something to your edge, Gabe. I'm pretty happy to call that for what it is. That was definitely a very well sharpened knife. whether I'd have the patience to do it myself, or like the, you know, the focus or the particular care to, you know, sharpen all my knives this way. But if you just have your one EDC, yikes, 250 on one side and then stropped, 6,000 on the other and then stropped. I assume from, you know, pushing from different angles as well. Anyway, wow, that was a test and a half. This hand fine, shoulder fine, finger sore. So, anyway, big old pile of twisted sisal, yikes, and a tiny little bit of, maybe a meter left or something, at most, out of 10, so very cool, very cool. Always nice to discover something new in the world of edges, and that definitely seems like an interesting and fairly effective way to make an edge, especially for cutting sisal rope and then testing it on paper to keep things nice and specific. Stay tuned for the paramilitary 2 result. Maybe I'll do that as a separate video. I'm looking, I've got 19 minutes here, including cutting, I know, but wow. Good times ahead, sore times ahead. Thank you very much, Gabe. It's a cool little video topic to look at. Do you do anything weird with your sharpenings? I always just do the same per side, and yeah, it never even occurred to me. Seems quite basic, you know, when I'm thinking about it now, but there you go. All right, so M4 steel next video, I think. Next video, yeah. All right, and then I've got another couple. Oh, and I'm going to do a surgeon's scalpel as well. He's put one of those in the packet too for me to see how long they cut rope for as well. So, hey, that might be fun too. All right, guys, see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Will it always be burning down?